Men's 200.
American record. Did you see like my transition? I was like, I did a little wave.
It's good. I like it.
I'm working on it. Noah freaking Lyles runs 19:31, taking down MJ's record. Michael Johnson ran 19:32. The scoreboard read 19:32 when he crossed the finish line. So there was a moment we thought, oh, he ties the record. But no, it got round down by 1/100th. 1931, the fastest American to ever walk this planet in the 200.
And he did it on the strength of that curve, which was unreal, unlike any Noah Lyles curve we've ever seen, because we're used to him coming off the curve with a deficit. He did not. He came off in the lead, and that's when I thought, it's trouble. It's trouble for everybody else. This time is going to be something ridiculous. He ran that curve like it was a straightaway, if that makes sense. It was just 200-meter straightaway for Noah Lyles in this race. You know, I went down after the women's 200 to do interviews. So I was standing next to Abby Steiner, and she said, hey, can we wait through the interview to after the 200 goes? And I was like, yes, awesome. I agree. And she asked me who my pick was. I said, Lyles. She said, that's a good pick. He just looked really good in the rounds. And when they were doing the pre-race intros and they went to Lyles and he did his typical Lyles, show of emotion, she said, yeah, he's winning. She just knew the confidence that he was showing, right? The enthusiasm that he had on the line. It was the Noah Lyles that we've all come to know. And he's had a frustrating last, 2021 was frustrating for him. We got used to him dominating. It was assumed he was going to win, and the questions were more around the time than the place. And it felt like any of that lingering frustration was channeled into 200 meters of complete and utter domination.
Who would you take in a Fred Kerley versus Noah Lyles 150 straight?
That's what we're discussing now?
No curve. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just saying, the reason I bring that up is it's kind of interesting that the U.S. men sweep the 1 and the 2 with 6 different athletes.
Yeah. Yep.
That is incredible. Like, when you're going to ask, like, all right, typically, who is your best sprinter? It's like one guy, but now you're going to be like, is it Fred Kerley? Is it Noah? Who's like the next up and coming? Is it the duo of Bromell and Bracey? Is it the young kid, Knighton? Is it the consistency of Kenny B? There's 6 guys now who all have claim of being, the top guy.
Sure.
Or obviously the gold medalists have the ultimate claim, but it is kind of incredible to see 6 different men all medal in the 1 and the 2.
Yeah.
From America.
Yeah. But back to Lyles. Again, the guy's career just seemed like upward trajectory after what he did in the trials in 2016. New guy on the scene. Obviously, the pre-race routines and the post-race celebration attracted a lot of attention. He has an amazing year in 2018, but there's no global championships. Then 2019, he goes out there, runs fast times, but you thought, okay, American record's possible, but didn't have that cherry on the top of the Sunday performance. At the end, he won, but it was a world championship, so it didn't really get that much mainstream attention, I thought. Then we have the COVID year, 2021, Tokyo. All right, it's Lyles' time. Never really looked like Lyles from the dominant Lyles in 2019. Ran a really fast pre-classic race at the end of the year, which I really thought set him in motion for this year. And he's just looked relaxed and confident. And this is a signature moment for him. I mean, that's a Michael Johnson record. People know
that's a
Michael
record.
Johnson, right?
There ain't no fake record. That's a real.
There's only been 3 faster 200s run in history. 2 of them are from Bolt. 1 of them is from Johan Blake. This is like it's cheesy to say, but it's a fulfilling of a destiny in a way.
Yeah.
Like when he first got on the scene.
2016 trials.
2016 trials. Him and Michael Norman were just so excited to be there and so much fun. And you're thinking, oh man, he's running fast. And then you see him the next year as a pro. And you're like, oh, this is the real deal. And you're thinking that record, it's been around for a while. This could be the guy who breaks it. And then there's doubts that creep in, obviously, because you look at his performance. And this was the race that we all knew a couple of years ago he could have.
Yeah, and for him to do it here,
yes,
in front of a crowd that's going to be the loudest he'll ever have outside if he would extend his career all the way to 2028 LA. I mean, Paris is going to be good, but a hometown type crowd, it's not going to get any better than this. It was deafening when they announced the American athletes' names on the track. for both the men and the women. And when Noah Lyles, you see him on the Jumbotron,
Yeah.
everyone is screaming, he's yelling, and the race hasn't even started yet. He even grabbed like the mic from the meet
really?
announcer after the race when he was doing his interview. He just like grabbed it and started like just doing 10 minutes of open mic. It was fun.
That's amazing.
It was he ripped his shirt off after the thing. It was incredible. Noah Lyles, it's what you want for our sport. He has the energy and he has the talent, and he's still in his prime. He's still early. He's entering his prime. What's his age?
He just turned 25.
Just turned 25. So we're gonna have a good another 4 years of now the American record holder on the track. Meet after meet after meet. I'm excited.
Yeah, he skipped completely over the 19.4s.
Yeah, he needs to run 19.4.
1950 was his best. Before that was from that 2019 season, and that was July, and it was like thought that he's going to get the American record come World Championships, but it took a couple years. But I think in a way it makes it sweeter, had that setback and then came back, because you never know how these athletes who get used to winning and used to dominating all the time, you never know how they're going to do when they're faced with a loss, with a setback. Does it shake their confidence at all? I mean, you say the same thing about Grant Holloway in Tokyo. I mean, this is kind of shaping up to be a Tokyo redemption World Championships for the U.S. sprinters, because there was so much talk about where are the gold medals, where are the medals, what's the problem? And then the 100, not as big of a deal, because it's like I felt like Hurley obviously overperformed, but in the 200 with Lyles, in the high hurdles with Holloway, maybe in the 400, perhaps we'll see with Michael Norman fulfilling that role. But so far this has kind of been the redemption games for some of the U.S. sprinters out there. And let's talk about the rest of the field, actually. Kenny Bednarek, man, he brought it when it counted.
What was Kenny Bednarek's season opener? Bring that up. What did he run in his season opener? Just click on his name.
He had a toe injury early on, which set him back a bit. But
what was his so season opener was June 5th. He won a race, but he ran 20.21 with a +2 win.
Mm-hmm. Out in Rabat. I mean, he ran his hundreds never really got going.
Yeah, he ran a 10:09 100 in May.
Yeah, I mean, at the trials he got 7th in the 100, 998, which was good performance.
He got dead last in the Prefontaine 100, running 10:18.
Yeah, but injury set him back, like I mentioned, with the toe. Got things going. Finished 4th. He wouldn't have even been in this race if Lyles didn't have a bye. Yeah. So, the U.S. wasn't allowed to have 4 entries in this meet.
Is this the first time?
Did he win Diamond League though? Did he win the Diamond League last year?
I think he was a Diamond League. No, he wasn't a Diamond League champion. Was he? Yeah, he was.
He was. So if the U.S. wasn't permitted 4 entries, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we went just based off of the trials results this year, it would have been Curley,
which is
Knighton,
a sign that sometimes top 3 per country. Sometimes
not enough.
There are people in different countries who could be 4th, 5th, 6th, or 8th in their country who are good enough to medal at the global stage. But yeah, what I was trying to get to, Kenny B, with the injuries, did not look like himself compared to what he was doing in 2021, but he timed his season perfectly. He continued to get better. Meet after meet, looked good at USA's, looked good in these prelims, and then finally put it together for an impressive silver medal, because we were all given a silver to the whoever is not to the one of the Knighton or Lyles.
Yeah.
We're like, that's the silver medalist. And we were like, hey, maybe Kenny B can fight for 3rd, but Fred Curley will be there. But, Joseph Fambula will be there. And we were like, yeah, Kenny B, he's going to make the final, but he'll be somewhere in the 3 through 7 range.
Yeah.
No, he got 2nd.
Yeah.
He's in the 2nd place range.
Back-to-back silvers for him.
Very impressive for Kenny B.
Yeah, silver in Tokyo last year, so he goes back-to-back silvers. And I think this is the Kenny B that you should expect, right? Because the injury set him back. But he goes 1984 in the semis, and that was a season's best. It's like, okay, if you're running season's best in the semi, you're in a good position, And then he comes back with the 1977, so a great race. Finishes ahead of Knighton, who, I thought 1 or 2, that was the pick. I think lane draw could have factored in. Like 3 is really, really tight for him. What do you think of Knighton's race?
Yeah, lane draw, people were talking about it. The way they do the lane draws is it's randomized based off of the heat winners. It's not preferential based off of your time. It's just random. So Knighton got kind of screwed over with his lane draw, but That's the sport. It's weird. It's a new rule how they do it. It used to not be random, but this year they changed it to random for the big cues, little cues. But yeah, I mean, still Knighton again. We had put so much expectation on this kid after he runs 1949, and at the end of the day, he needs to win his first medal before he does amazing, great things. Because he didn't win a medal in Tokyo. Now he got his first medal. Now he knows, and then a year later, he might improve it to a silver,
Yeah.
and then eventually, by him in 2028, he's gonna be like, see if I can break Noah Lyles' record.
Yeah.
Like that's his timeline. His timeline is once Lyles is done, can I?
I don't know about that. I think he's still
They're
gonna.
7 years apart. Yeah.
Right, but I think he's gonna be challenging him next year.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be challenging him
Whenever
next
the next
year,
race
but
is.
Lyles is still gonna be good next year as well.
I think Knighton had an off race for him. I think he's probably happy first global medal, but I think he's gonna be right back at Noah Lyles the next time they race. If it's a Diamond League, he's gonna right back at it with him.
I just don't think he's gonna pass Noah Lyles' time until Lyles.
Oh,
retires.
maybe not on time. Yes, maybe
That's
not
what I
on
mean.
time,
Yeah.
but I think he's gonna benefit from 3 straight years now of championships too. Or
Yes.
I guess 5 if you go back to the Olympic year, because he's going to get an opportunity to do it, and I think he's going to be able to compete. You guess his ceiling is a little higher
Because of his age.
more room to grow because of his age, and he's just now getting used to it. But yeah, I'm not gonna say he's not gonna be competitive with Lyles moving forward. I mean, what 4th last year at the Olympics, so he improved a spot as well too.
Yeah.
So first global medal, great race for him. It just Lyles ran a race that didn't allow anybody to make any single error in it.
Yeah.
Like everybody to be even near him had to be perfect. And even then it probably wouldn't have been enough. You'd think, well, because Knighton ran as a better PR in 1949, maybe if Knighton had a perfect race, but that's tough to ask for a guy as young as Aaron Knighton. So I think it was still a great result for him. I guess we thought gold or silver, ends up with bronze, but just a little bit behind Bednarik.